Has it ever happened that a sitting president sued his own government for $10 billion and then directed the settlement of the case and the establishment of a payout fund?
Not that I'm aware of, but there's a lot of things that President Trump's the first of. No president had been indicted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Correct.
6, 7, 8 times either.
Correct. No president's been indicted.
Joining us now is Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Whitehouse, there's nothing quite like a Todd Blanche appearance before the Senate.
You just got to love that he leads with, I serve a president who was indicted. Mm-hmm. What a great opener in a hearing about a nearly $2 billion slush fund for cop beaters, announced literally the week after Police Week was celebrated here in Washington to recognize and respect the law enforcement presence that keeps us safe. So very next week, here they are with the cop beaters slush fund. And the other interesting piece about this, Lawrence, is that they managed to delay the news about the other part of the slush fund, this weasel deal that Todd Blanche negotiated for his personal client, the president, which is Trump family tax amnesty. And that news didn't break, even though it looks like it was signed before 8 in the morning that day. The news didn't get out until Blanche had scampered from the committee and didn't have to answer questions about that. But the twofer of a cop beaters slush fund the week after Police Week and Trump family tax amnesty from all audits and tax, effects. It is pretty stunning stuff, and they've managed to hide all of that. And what it means for our Republican friends here in the Senate is like, how much Trump junk do you have to carry into this coming election? You've got the billionaire's ballroom. You've got the Iran war. You've got huge costs for diesel, fertilizer, fuel. You've got wicked climate hoax stuff. You've got a boozer running the FBI. I mean, how much do Republicans have to carry for this guy into the election? And frankly, does he want to drag the Republican Party down with him rather than fail alone as a collapsing president?
So on the tax piece, Donald Trump, in effect, pardoned himself for any possible tax crimes from this point backward. Apparently, as I read it, he could be investigated for tax fraud in the future, especially after his presidency, and especially if there's a Democratic-controlled Justice Department after his presidency. He would still be liable for future such investigations.
For new false tax filings and new tax fraud. But from this point back to the beginning of time, Trump, the Trump family, and the Trump corporate organizations all got a free pass, an amnesty for any tax fraud and any further tax audits. Remember, this is from the guy who promised when he first ran to release his taxes, and here we are all these years later, he still hasn't. And what they're almost certain to show is that, like many of the corrupt billionaires that are associated with Trump, he doesn't pay any taxes. He lets that, as Ms. Helmsley famously said, taxes are for the little people.
Well, he said in his first presidential campaign that, of course, he would release his tax returns as soon as the audit was complete. There was no evidence that an audit was going on at the time, but as soon as the audit was complete, well, now we know that the audit is complete as of tonight.
They've got to be complete now.
Sure.
They're ended.
Yeah, and
we'll
what
see
is the damage?
Whether he produces any tax returns.
And this whole thing comes from the notion that Donald Trump was somehow damaged by having some small portion of his tax return released by a contractor who was working for the doing a job for the IRS, wasn't employed by the government. How is it damaging to a president to have tax returns released when every previous president, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, they've all released every page of their tax returns as president.
And when you have a self-dealing situation like this with Trump on both sides of the case, Trump as president, rather Trump as taxpayer versus Trump as president, with Trump as president settling in favor of Trump individually, you have you've got a huge process problem of where are the independent eyeballs to make a determination as to what the damages were. I mean, you've correctly pointed out that the damages are almost certainly zero, but there was also no independent eyeball put on this to show what the damages might actually have been. The whole thing was just a fix put in by his personal lawyer, this weaselly Blanche character who's running the Department of Justice right now. And as we close into November, Republicans are going to have to answer for this and so much more of the nonstop Trump corruption.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you very much for joining our coverage tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence.